Hello everybody, and happy Wednesday, or hump day as I like to call it. Melanie here teaching you today. How are you all doing? Are you having a good week so far? I'm having an all right week. I've started a new course. It's pretty exciting. It's about climate change and habitat restoration. Fun stuff. For me anyway. All right, so today is one of our big reading days. We have one of our Guardian articles, which I shall pull out here. This guy. So we're going to be working on this for the first class and probably part of the second class as well. So we're definitely going to start off with this. You might want to grab this now. In the second class, after we finish this, we're going to have a little discussion on food. And then third is going to be music time, one of our favorite classes, and that's going to be at the end of today. Okay, are you ready? Let's begin. So, today's article, let's see. Let's break down the title. How New Yorkers are fighting for food justice. Ooh, that sounds quite fun. Okay, so let's break this down. All right, you all know the city New York, right? New York, New York. It's in America, Eastern United States specifically. So New Yorkers are people who are from New York. For example, I'm from Vancouver, so I can call myself a Vancouverite. And if someone is from, let's see, if someone's from Chicago, they could be called Chicagans. So the end of this, it can change depending on the city or country you're from. So these are people from New York are fighting for. Okay, now, do you think this is the fight, like a fist fight? Is that what you think this refers to? This actually is not quite what it refers to. So to fight for something, it means that you are trying to get something to work in your way. So for example, back in the early 1900s and before, women were fighting for their rights. So, they go into the street, maybe they protest, maybe they try to make people aware, hey, men can vote, women cannot vote. That's not fair. We should do something. So these people from New York are fighting for something. They want something. They're trying to get something. So it's not a fist fight. It's different. It's different. All right, so actually I'm going to write that here under new words. All right, so this is a phrasal verb, to fight for something. Usually it's a noun. Okay. Maybe when you were a younger child, you tried to fight for a bigger allowance from your mom and dad, for example. I know I did. When I was 10 years old, my allowance was $3.50 a week. So I thought, that's not enough money. Mom, Dad, I think I should be getting $5 a week for my allowance. I do a lot of chores. I help out around the house a lot. I think I deserve $5 a week for allowance. So that was me fighting for a higher allowance. I was trying to convince them. Okay, and finally, food. You all know what food is. I'm not going to explain that one. Food justice. What is justice? So I'm going to write that down under our new word list as well. Justice. So justice is essentially, something done for, okay, sorry, I had a good explanation. It totally flipped out of my mind. All right, so justice kind of refers to fairness and doing what is right. So for example, good police officers work on the side of justice. If somebody is stealing some money, they're going to go chase the guy who got the money, and they're going to give the money back to the person who lost it. That is justice. All right. So, food justice, I'm going to draw you an example of food injustice. Okay, let's say this is somebody, they're pretty rich, and maybe they have like, you know, all this food, all these vegetables, and you know, they're happy. They can eat a lot of food. They are very healthy. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, you have someone maybe who doesn't make as much money, and okay, so yeah, here's a dinner table, and maybe all they have at their dinner table is like one measly little carrot, or maybe something not so healthy. So this isn't really fair, because all humans deserve to have enough food to live and lead good, productive lives. Yet, not everyone is equal in the kind of food they can get. This is food injustice. However, if we can get more healthy vegetables or food, and then here's a nice bowl of soup, then let's turn that frown upside down. This is food justice. Now, these guys are equal, and these folks, even though they have less money, they can still eat, and they have the right to a healthy lifestyle. So, that is the title broken down in a nutshell. It should be pretty interesting, because this is becoming more of a problem, especially in North America. I'm not sure if this is a problem in your country or not. Is this a problem in your country? Is food justice something that needs to be talked about in your country? Is there some inequality between people of different classes or different incomes? Feel free to let me know in the comments. Okay, so what I'd like to do is start with our warmer here. We're not going to do all the questions, maybe just a couple. Okay, so we got 4 questions. We got number 1, the best place to buy fruit and vegetables is the supermarket. Okay, I'm going to erase these guys. Farewell food justice for now. So, number 1, we have supermarket. Number 2, we have local market. Okay, so number 1, the best place to buy fruit and vegetables is, so a supermarket, typically it's very large. So for example, maybe we got something like Save On Foods. There might, of course, there's different names maybe in your own countries, but this is a very well-known one in Vancouver. Save On Foods, Safeway, etc. Costco is another one. Save On Costco, the Costco Save On. And there's like a lot of people that go in here. Not just vegetables and fruit, but you can get all sorts of things. You can get meat, dairy, house cleaning products, toilet paper, etc., etc. You can buy anything and everything at the supermarket. Supermarket. Okay. And number 2. The best place to buy fruit and vegetables is at your local market. Okay, this would probably be a little bit smaller, maybe like a corner store. Local market. So again, you will have maybe like food, just like here, food, and like, you know, other things. But it is much smaller. This is much smaller. So this is huge, and you'll have many of them around the country, maybe, and this is much smaller, but it has many things here. Okay, like toilet paper as well, etc. Number 3, the best place to buy fruit and vegetables is at your local green grocers. Okay, so what is a green grocers? So it's going to be small, kind of similar to your local market, perhaps. Green grocers. And they only sell fruit and vegetables. Only fruit and vegetables. So that means no meat, no bread, usually, no toilet paper or cleaning products, So it's different from these in that it's just fruit and vegetables. So maybe they'll have like, you know, carts of like bananas. This is pretty common here in Vancouver. They'll have like carts of all sorts of things out front. And usually they have pretty good prices on fruits and vegetables. They tend to be cheaper here, I find, compared to the supermarkets. And number 4, the best solution is to grow your own fruits and vegetables. So what does that mean? Basically, you're at home, and if you're lucky, you got a nice garden out front, and you can just grow your own fruits and vegetables in an ideal world. Yeah. That's definitely not the case for me. I live on a patio, and I have very little space. But some people do this. Okay, so I'm gonna sneeze. Never mind, not gonna sneeze. Okay, I thought I had to. Which do you think is best in your opinion? There's no right or wrong answer. It's just a matter of your opinion. Which do you think is best? Buying fruit and vegetables at a big supermarket, buying fruit and vegetables at a local market, buying fruit and vegetables at a greengrocer's, or growing your own fruit and vegetables at home. What do you think is the best? So for example, oh yeah, please type in your answers, by the way. Me, for example, I usually tend to buy my fruit and vegetables typically at a local greengrocer's, but sometimes I will buy it at a supermarket if I'm short on time. My husband and I sometimes have to go here to buy other things, so we get lazy, we don't go to the local greengrocer, but I think this is a good option because usually, not always, but usually, you can get local vegetables and fruit. So that means maybe there are farms nearby that you can get fruit and vegetables from, which is always good to support local businesses. Ideally, I wish I could do this. I would love to have my own fruit and vegetable garden at home. But let's be realistic, this can be very time consuming and it can be difficult to do. I had 2 tomato plants. 3 years ago, I tried to grow tomatoes, they both died. I got like 2 tiny little tomatoes and they weren't that great. So this is hard to do, but I wish I had more space to do this. This is probably one of the most sustainable things to do. I think this would be really good if many people could do this. Because to get food here, obviously you have to use transportation, like trucks, and then, you know, that releases CO2 into the atmosphere, and obviously that's not really good. Sometimes if you want things like avocados or mangoes, you have to ship them on a boat. So, you know, that's like even more CO2 and then before it goes into the truck. Again, not super sustainable. And the same thing can happen here at the local markets sometimes as well. So this is what I do the most, or this is what I try to do the most. If you have any thoughts or opinions, please type in your answers anytime. I'd love to read them out. Okay, so in the meantime, I think we'll finish up with this warm-up, and we're gonna do number 2, key words. All right, so we have 10 words. Feel free to get started on this exercise if you like, while I'm setting up the board. So what I'd like you to do is, you have 10 sentences. I want you to put the correct word into the correct sentence, all right? If you want, you can skim through this paper to find the vocabulary and try and think about the meaning so that you can put it in here. Now, what does skim mean? So skim reading is quickly reading over, you're looking for information. So let's say, for example, activist is the first word. So when you want to skim it, you're going to be like, activist. Ah, activist. Okay. Activist means person who fights for rights. Okay, and then you try and put it in the correct box, okay? So go ahead and try to start doing number 2, this whole section, okay? If you can't do it though, don't worry, we will do it together. Okay, go ahead. Let's get rid of all these markets, local markets. Bye-bye, Costco. I haven't been to Costco for months since the whole COVID thing. I'm afraid of all the lineups. Okay, sweet, that's it. Okay, let's get the word set up. Ooh. Okay, we have activist. We have disparity. Disparity. We have a lot of kind of advanced words today. Disadvantaged. Exploitation. Exploitation. Nutrition. I hope you know what this one is. It's a good word. This is especially useful for our food unit this week. For example, remember my poutine? Remember my poutine presentation? Poutine has very little nutrition. Don't eat it too often. Oh, I wish I could have poutine right now though. Oh my goodness. Gentrification. Gentrification. Something that's happening a lot in Vancouver right now. Obese. Narrative. Narrative. And initiative. Okay. All right, guys, so those are all our words. Okay, so let's start with number 1. A blank is a problem that delays or stops progress and makes the situation worse. Oh, look at that. It even tells you what paragraph you can find the word. Okay, so you're going to look at paragraph number 2. Okay, so a blank is a problem that delays. I'm not going to write the whole sentence out because you should have it there. Okay, so if we look at number 2, if we look at paragraph 2, let's see which of these words shows up in paragraph 2. Okay, so we're going to do the first one together. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Okay. These difficulties are certainly a setback. Oh, I'm pretty sure, yeah, setback. Okay, were there any other words? Activist was another one in there. Okay, so there are 2 words. We could either choose activist or setback. What do you guys think? All right, actually here's a hint. Look at the article and look at activist and look at setback. You'll notice that activist starts with an A. And remember, if we have an article that starts with an ah sound, we have to add N. And setback starts with a consonant. And let's see, if there is a consonant, we just say ah, there's no N. So that means our answer is setback, a setback. Okay. That is what a setback is. This is a good word, actually. I think we use this in English semi-often. So one example of a setback is, I was supposed to graduate from school this year, but because of COVID-19, there has been a setback in my graduation date. So unfortunately, I cannot graduate this year. So that's what a setback is. Okay, number 2. I'd like you to try to do this one now. All right. And blank is someone who takes part in activities that aim to achieve political or social change, like food justice, for example. Okay, so this is a person. And what? In paragraph 2, let's see. Oh, what do you know? Okay, I'm not going to write it out. Number 2, I want you to type it, okay? Ready, set, go. I'm going to prepare number 3 in the meantime. Number 3. Something, this is paragraph 3, is food considered as something that keeps you healthy. Keeps you healthy. Okay, so number 3, blank is food considered as something that keeps you healthy. So look in paragraph number 3, and you're going to try and see which of these words pops up. Let's see. Okay, I'm not going to write down the word here. I would like you to try and look this up. Okay, so see if you can find the word in paragraph 3. Only one of these words pops up in paragraph 3. Okay, and go ahead, please do number 3 and number 4. Let's see. And something person is overweight. Overweight. In a way that is bad for their health. Never mind, sorry, there are 2 other words. Okay, so there's 2 words from paragraph 3. Okay. So one of them relates to food and one of them relates to people. And remember, we have AN here. So you're going to have to look for a word that has an A, an E, an I, an O, or a U. All right, I see somebody has written an answer for number 2. They wrote an activist. Yes, very good. An activist. So an activist is someone who takes part in activities that aim to achieve political or social change. Activist. Okay, so for example, in Vancouver, near Vancouver, there is a pipeline that is going to be built, and it carries oil. Now, many people in Vancouver don't want this. Quite a few people don't want this. So there are many activists who are saying, stop the pipeline, no dirty energy. That is an activist. So we have quite a few activists in Vancouver. What about your country? Okay, and I don't see an answer for number 3. Okay, so, no thoughts? Okay, so I was hoping that you were going to put, let's see. There is a strong relationship between poor nutrition. So the word we're looking for is nutrition. Nutrition. Put a big N because it's at the beginning of a sentence. Nutrition. I also put that here as another new word, nutrition. Okay. So when your children are young, it is important to give them food with lots of nutrition so that they can grow up. So make sure you're giving them lots of fruit, lots of vegetables, and some meat and some dairy that can help their bones and muscles grow. So nutrition, it's important for all humans, but it's especially important for people who are still growing. Okay. So for example, don't eat too much McDonald's. There is not enough nutrition in fast food. And number 4, somebody wrote obese, and that is indeed correct. Remember, obese starts with an O, so that's why you're gonna have AN, an obese person. Okay, So an obese person is someone who is overweight to an unhealthy extent. So usually, not always, but when someone is obese, it can cause trouble. It can cause heart problems. It can cause like knee and hip and joint problems as well. And usually, not always, but usually, it is not very good for a person's health. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions throughout the class. If you want me to try and explain some of these words better, just let me know and I'd be happy to give you some more examples. All right, I'm just going to give you a couple seconds. I'm going to erase this in a few secs, so go ahead, fill in your answers if you need to. It's going in 3, 2, 1, and she gone. Oof, spinny. Ah. Well, this talk about food is kind of making me hungry. Even the McDonald's. Even though I don't like to eat McDonald's very often, I'm not a huge fan of it, but even just talking about it's making me a little bit hungry. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we got 6 more to go. Let's see, what do we have next? 5, oh, another Anne. And blank is an important action. Is an important action. It's an important action that is intended to solve a problem. This is going to be in paragraph 8. And I think it's the only one in paragraph 8. And notice you have N, so it should be pretty easy to find the word in here. So please type in the answer for number 5 in 3, 2, 1, go. I'm gonna write out number 6 in the meantime. Number 6, a blank is a difference between things. Between things. Okay, and this one is paragraph 9. Para 9. Okay, so there's no N, so it's going to be something that starts with a consonant, most likely. Okay, so please keep typing in your answers for number 5. Look at paragraph 8. And look at paragraph 9 for number 6, all right? And I'm going to write out number 7 in the meantime. Number 7, blank is when an area in the city, blank, 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 blank. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that. So number 7, blank is when an area in the city where poor people live becomes an area where richer people live as they buy the houses and repair them or replace them with condos, as happens often in Vancouver. So this is going to be in paragraph number 10. Okay, this will be tricky because there's 3 words in paragraph 10. Okay, 8. Number 8. Something people don't enjoy the same benefits as other people. Same benefits. Benefits. All right. So blank people do not enjoy the same benefits as other people, usually because they do not have much money. So what do you think that might be? Okay. Okay, I see somebody has written something for number 5. Thank you. What did they write? They wrote number 5. Oops, sorry. Let me just double check. Okay. Important and clever. Oh, sorry, I lost my spot here, guys. Oh, here we go. Okay, So they wrote down initiative, and that is indeed correct. Initiative. Boop, boop, boop. All right, so initiative is an important action intended to solve a problem. So I'll give you another example. Right now, I'm an online student. I'm studying on the internet. Sometimes it takes a lot of initiative for me to go and do my homework. You need to have some initiative to go onto the computer, do your homework and readings and submit it. So I have to stay motivated, yes. Okay, and somebody wrote for number 6, they wrote disparity. Very good, thank you. Disparity. Disparity. Okay, so disparity is a difference between things. So for example, okay, there is a clear disparity between rich people, like rich citizens and poor citizens in some places like Vancouver especially. Oh, right, that's actually a good word. I'm gonna put disparity. Disparity. I see this a lot in my school assignments as well, especially with climate change. And nobody did number 7, unfortunately. So, number 7, this was in paragraph 10 where you have a lot of answers. So when an area of a city where poorer people live becomes an area where richer people live, this is what we call gentrification. Yes, I spelled it right? Okay. Good. Okay. That was bad. Sorry. Let me rewrite that out. Okay. Gentrification. Gentrification. This is a problem that happens in pretty much every country and most cities, I think. Gentrification. You don't have to memorize all these words, don't worry. These are just like words that I think might be kind of useful, just for your own information. All right, number 8. Okay, so this was actually an adjective, something people. Okay, so we got gentrification done. We've got disparity. All right, so the answer here, also in paragraph number 10, you know what, maybe I'm going to leave it blank for now, and I'm gonna write number 9 and 10 up here. So read through paragraph 10, please. And what do you think? Do you think it's disadvantaged people, exploitation people, narrative people? All right, so this is an adjective, this is a noun, and this is a noun. So we already have a noun here, so think about what's gonna go here, okay? So please fill in number 8. I'm just gonna write out number 9 and number 10 in the meantime. Farewell, gentrification, although we know you'll never go away for reals forever. Okay, what's number 9? A blank. A blank is a story or account of something that happened. Something that happened. Okay, so this is not a word we use too often, but it is also in paragraph 10. Para 10. Okay, and number 10, last one. Something is unfair treatment of people in order to get benefit for yourself. Okay. So, any thoughts for number 8? I don't see any answers there. Oh yeah, and number 10 is paragraph 11, sorry. Para 11. Okay, so for number 8, I was hoping to get the answer of an adjective, which is disadvantaged. Disadvantaged people. Disadvantaged. Okay, so one example of disadvantaged. Let's say, for example, I moved to a country. Let's pretend I moved to Germany. Why not? Germany's cool. I moved to Germany, packed my bags. I'm going to get a job in Germany. I'm going to live there. However, it's going to be difficult for me to A, find a job, and B, get an apartment because I don't speak German and I'm not a German citizen. I am a foreigner. So this kind of makes me a bit disadvantaged compared to your average German citizen. So I'm not actually a disadvantaged person in real life, but that's one example of how someone could be disadvantaged. In Canada, this runs pretty deep, especially with people like First Nations. They are unfortunately very disadvantaged in our social system in terms of the quality of school they receive and support. So this could be considered like a disadvantaged community. And sometimes they need help with food justice as well. Okay, so that is number 8. Number 9, somebody wrote narrative. Thank you. Narrative, that is right. So you may have heard the term narrator, and that's someone who tells the story. So when you hear the word narrative, it refers to a story or an account of something. And finally, that leaves us with only one word left. What could it be? Whatever word could it be? Please type in your answers now. What is this? Okay, something is the unfair treatment of people in order to get some benefit, like money, for yourself. What do you think this is? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. And the answer is exploitation. Exploitation sucks. It is not nice, but it is a sad fact of life. Exploitation is. Okay. So, exploitation, I'll give you an example, and unfortunately this actually happened. So I used to work at a sandwich shop in downtown Vancouver about 10 years ago, actually. 10 years ago, I worked in a sandwich shop to get some money for university. And I had another coworker. He was not from Canada. He worked in the shop with me. And they, I think they helped him with his visa to stay here longer with his work visa. Unfortunately, they decided to exploit him by making him work longer hours without pay sometimes. So his pay was not very good, and he had to work 6 days a week. So it was pretty awful. So that is what exploitation is. So, all right. These are all the answers. I'm going to let you quickly write down anything you didn't get, and I'm going to erase the board in a few seconds. All right, so I'm going to erase it in 3, 2, 1. Goodbye. Okay. So let's get rid of all that. Okay, so there's a lot of long kind of complicated social words that we went on here, but I hope you kind of got an idea of what's going on in this story. Let me know if you need any more explanations of any of these words, okay? All right, lots of black marker to get rid of here. Ooh, okay, fighting for. Okay, I'm just gonna write in food justice again. Fighting for food justice, da-na-na-na. Okay. Right. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'd like us to work on number 3. And what I will do is I'm going to read out the article one time. And while I'm reading, I want you to try and listen for any information related to all these questions under the Find Information box here. So let's look at these questions before I start reading. Okay, so number 1, let's see. In which part of New York is the Libertad Urban Farm? Okay, so which part of, I'm going to put NY, short for New York, is the Libertad Urban Farm? Urban Farm. Okay, so when it says part, so think about a neighborhood. So New York is really big. I'm going to talk about, very briefly, a neighborhood in New York. And remember, most neighborhoods start with a capital letter. So one example is Brooklyn. Brooklyn. So this is a neighborhood in New York, and it starts with a big B, a capital B. Okay? So try to pay attention for a neighborhood name in New York. And it's not Brooklyn, by the way. That's not the answer. It's something else. Okay. And number 2. When? Okay, so you're going to be looking for a date here. When was the Food Research and Action Center study carried out? Center study carried out. Okay. So here again, you're going to be looking for a date. Most likely a year. So for example, right now it's the year 2020. Obviously, this article's a little bit older than that, so it's not going to be 2020, okay? But keep an eye out for years, maybe even months or dates. Okay, number 3, DBDBD. How long? How long? Okay, so we're talking about a span of days, weeks, months, or years. How long has Tanya Fields? Okay, so watch out for her name. She's important. Worked as a community activist. Worked as a community activist. Community activist. Okay, remember this word, activist? It means, to fight for change, to fight for change. Okay, so how long? So you're going to be thinking about a span of time. So for example, I have been a teacher for 5 years. I've been a teacher for about 5 years now. Okay, this is not the answer, obviously, probably not. So just think about look at like months or years, okay? And number 4, by what percentage? By what percentage are low-income families? Low income, what does that mean? So their income, the money they make every month from their jobs is low. So they're relatively poor. So by what percentage are low-income families likely to be overweight or obese? Overweight or obese. Okay, so the key words here are overweight or obese, okay? So listen for these words and also listen for percentage. So these are 3 key words. You're going to find the answer when you hear these, okay? Number 5. Okay, this might be the trickiest question. What is green thumb? What is green thumb? Okay, so this is going to be a longer answer where you have to describe what this is. So as you know, remember this is a thumb. In fact, I think I taught you this expression a couple weeks ago. So someone who has a green thumb means they like to garden or they're good at gardening. However, here you notice we have two capital letters, capital G, capital T. So we're not just talking about people with a green thumb, but this is probably an organization, or maybe it's the name of a building, or maybe it's the name of a town or a city. So pay attention when green thumb pops up. Make sure you listen or read and see if you can know what it means. What is this? And finally, number 6. Okay, who is the mayor of New York? Okay, I'm shortening it to NY again. Okay, so you're gonna hear me say, so the key word is mayor or current mayor. So when you hear me say the word mayor, listen closely and try to see if you can catch their name. Okay, guys, I don't think we're gonna have much time to get into the reading. So I might do the reading after the break, and then we'll try and fill in the blanks here. Okay, now, do you have any questions about these questions? Are there any words in here that you don't understand? Or are there any questions that you don't understand? Please let me know, and I'd be happy to help you out, because I'd like to make sure you do understand the reading. As you know, the Guardian readings are a bit lengthy, and they're full of a lot of words. So I want to make sure you're familiar with, you know, the vocabulary in here. All right, so once again, look for and listen for a neighborhood name. Specifically, listen to the word Libertad Urban Farm. Look out for this information. And when was the Food Research Action Center study carried out? Okay, look out for this word. So when you hear this word, listen for a year or like a number. Listen for what year this happened. Number 3, how long has Tanya Fields worked as a community activist? Okay, so when we're talking about her, and when we hear the word community activist, try and see if you can listen for what number of years, how long she's been working as a community activist. Here, by what percentage? Look for percentage, overweight, and obese. What is green thumb? When you hear me talk about this, try to listen to see what they are. And finally, who is the current mayor of New York? Listen for those words. Okay, let me just take a swig of water. Oof. Oh, that's better. Okay. Okay. So, let's see. I think I might have time to read one paragraph. So I will read the first paragraph and then I'll probably send you on break, okay? All right, so here we go. How New Yorkers are fighting for food justice. Oh, all right. Actually, maybe what I'll do is we will continue with this after the break. So, all right, guys. So we'll take our 10-minute break now, and then we'll continue with all this afterwards. I hope you have a nice break, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hi guys, and welcome back to class. Hope you had a nice break, had a good breather. I had some oranges, I got some energy back after talking about all that food that made me hungry, so I'm ready to go. Okay, so like I discussed, try to focus on finding these answers while I read out loud to you, okay? So I'm going to start reading now, and I recommend that you take this out and follow along as well, okay? Okay, so I'm going to be starting in 3, 2, 1. How New Yorkers are fighting for food justice. Da, 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 da. One community garden at a time. How New Yorkers are fighting for food justice by Edward Helmore. So this happens on June 2017. For the past 3 summers, Tanya Fields produced large quantities of fruits and vegetables at the Libertad Urban Farm in South Bronx. But their garden was burgled 3 times by a drug addict. He took everything, the pears, the grill, anything he thought that had value. He knocked down the shed, destroyed the tomato vines, and stole the eggplant. What a jerk. These difficulties are certainly a setback, but Fields is still committed to issues of food justice and growing food equality, a growing aim of community-focused activists across the U.S., sometimes described as communities exercising their right to grow, sell, and eat healthy food. There is a strong relationship between poor nutrition, discrimination, and reduced life expectancy. According to a 2011 study by the Food Research and Action Center, low-income families are 30% more likely to be overweight or obese due to a lack of access to quality fruits and vegetables. Fields, who has worked as a community activist in the Bronx for more than 10 years, says the idea isn't new, just the term. We didn't call it food justice before. We called it survival. We attached some fancy name, but really it's just the same thing we've been talking about for years. The Bronx, she says, isn't exactly a food desert. The USA's largest food distribution center is a few minutes walk away from her kitchen garden, but the local shops show all the signs of a low-income neighborhood. There's a cake shop, there's the McDonald's, the Burger King, but you go into one Grocers and the food there will cost you disproportionately more as a poor person. And that's a symptom of a globalized food system we want to change. Fields founded the Garden Project as a response to what she calls structurally reinforced cycles of poverty and harsh inequalities that result in far too many women being unable to rise out of poverty and sustain their families. Her group is just one of many in New York. Green Thumb, a division of NYC Parks Department, and the largest community gardening program in the U.S., estimates that 39,000 kilograms of food is produced in the 553 community gardens it oversees. As part of New York Mayor Bill de Blasio's Building Health Communities initiative, the city recently increased the number of Green Thumb gardens in neighborhoods with limited access to healthy food. The new grants include gardens in East Harlem, Bedford-Stuyvesant, not sure if I'm saying that right, and for the HEALTH, Health, for Youth's Garden on police department property. According to community organizer Beatrice Beckford of the National Black Food and Justice Alliance, the disparity in access is often because food producers assume lower income people wouldn't buy fresh food if it were available in their communities. At the same time, community gardens often indicate the start of gentrification. They are created to assist the same disadvantaged groups that are later pushed out of those areas. It's a very political space in a narrative that goes beyond the issues of food, Beckford observes. Her work in this sphere was once focused on appealing to local businesses, elected officials, and school boards to change the way systems of distribution worked. But over the years, she began to see the issues differently. The food system is working the way it's supposed to work. It was largely built on exploitation. We need to think about food justice in terms of building local and national systems that deconstruct the old system and build a new, less elitist and exploitative one. For Tanya Field's Libertad Urban Farm, the current focus is to replant and secure the garden so that 2016's damage is not repeated. She wants to reach out to New York's Women's Foundation and Ford Foundation for grants and assistance, but at the same time, she believes that community projects should be led by the community. Fields looks over her garden. It's going to take a lot of time and effort to get it back into shape. Food injustice is a symptom of a larger disease, economic exclusion. It's about how we build our communities without ready social, educational, or financial capital. A delivery of soil, expected soon, will be a good place to start. Okay, so that was the article. A bit long, I know, a bit heavy perhaps. Okay, let's see if we can answer any of these questions. Okay, so number 1, which part of New York is the Libertad Urban Farm? So I'm going to give you a hint. You can find the answer in paragraph 1. So look in paragraph 1. So I'll read it out again. For the past 3 summers, Tanya Fields produced large quantities of fruit and vegetables at the Libertad Urban Farm in the South Bronx. Okay, so that was the answer. Please type in your answer for number 1, okay? Number 2, when was the Food Research and Action Center study carried out? This was carried out in, let's see, paragraph 3, you will find your answer, okay? So I'll read it out again. According to a 2011 study by the Food Research and Action Center, low-income families are 30% more likely to be overweight or obese. Okay, so please type in your answers for number 2 as well. Go ahead. Number 3, how long has Tanya Fields worked as a community activist? All right, so for this one, you can find the answer in paragraph 4. Para 4. So I'll read out paragraph 4. Fields, who has worked as a community activist in the Bronx for more than 10 years, says the idea isn't new, just the term. Okay, what was number 3? How many years? Type out your answers. Okay, and number 4, by what percentage are low-income families likely to be overweight or obese? This is also paragraph 3. Paragraph 3. Okay, so I will read out that paragraph once again. Low-income families are 30% more likely to be overweight or obese due to lack of access to quality fruits and vegetables. All right, what percentage? So it's going to be something percent. Please type in your answers now. Number 5, what is green thumb? So this is paragraph 7. Para 7. Okay. So I'm going to quickly read it out. In New York, Green Thumb, a division of New York City Parks Department and the largest community gardening program in the U.S. Okay, so please type out your answers for number 5 And number 6, last one. This is in paragraph 8. Para 8. Okay. I'm probably not saying his name right, but here we go. As part of New York Mayor Bill de Blasio's Building Healthy Communities initiative. All right, so type in your answers. Go ahead, guys. All right, I am seeing an answer for number 1. Somebody wrote Bronx, and that is correct. Although technically they said in the South Bronx. Okay, I think I'm gonna write out the answers in red, maybe blue actually, just to highlight them. So, in the South Bronx. Okay. Actually, I won't use the blue anymore because it's not so good. I'll just stick to black, sorry. So it's in the South Bronx. That's the neighborhood of New York where this garden is. Okay, so I'll let you write that down, but I am going to erase number 1 because we're getting a little bit crowded. Do I see any answers for number 2? I don't see anything for number 2 yet, unfortunately. Okay, so number 2, when was the Food Research and Action Center study carried out? Okay, so I was hoping that you guys were going to say it was carried out in 2011. So this is about 9 years ago, roughly. Yeah, 9 years ago. So 2011, this is when this study was carried out. All right. I do see somebody wrote an answer for number 3, which is great. Okay, I'm going to erase this. Okay. Sorry, that's super squeaky and annoying. I'll leave the answer up here. Number 2. Okay, number 3's answer. Somebody wrote 10 years. Good, thank you. And technically that's correct, although they said over 10 years. So 10 years and a little bit. Maybe she's worked for like 11 years. Good job. She has worked as a community activist for over 10 years. Nice. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Any answers for number 4? Any thoughts? I don't see anyone going for number 4 yet. Okay. So by what percentage are low-income families likely to become overweight or obese? Was it 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100? Okay, so the answer I was looking for was 30%. Low-income families are likely 30% more likely to become obese or overweight because they don't have access to fresh food or vegetables. Okay, doing good, doing good. Okay, let's get rid of number 4. Number 5, what is green thumb? Okay, this is the trickier one. So I'm actually gonna write number 5. Green thumb is, any thoughts? I'm gonna leave this blank for now because I would like you guys to try and fill this out. So green thumb is, okay. And what about number 6? Who is the mayor? Somebody wrote Bill, and yes, very good. That's part of his name. Okay, so I'm gonna put number 6 down here. Bill, that was his first name. His last name is kind of harder to pronounce. Bill de Blasio or Blasio. I'm not sure how to say that name. Not a name that I'm very familiar with. So that is the current mayor as of 2017. I don't know if he's still actually the mayor or not. Okay. Any thoughts for green thumb? Excuse me. Okay. So green thumb is, let's see. It's the largest. The largest what? The largest something, something in the something. I want you to try and fill in these blanks. Green thumb is the largest in the No pressure. Okay. Okay, I think it would be nice to try and do the true and false section. Okay. I think that's what we'll do. Okay. So I'm going to let you type this in. Please keep typing. Okay. So number 4, comprehension check. Comprehension check. 1. Okay. All right. So I see somebody wrote community garden, and that is very good. Thank you. It is the largest community garden in the U.S. Excellent. In the U.S. of A. That is what green thumb is. Ooh, sorry, pardon me. I'm getting a little hot for some reason. Just drink some water. Okay, good stuff, guys. Okay, so now I want us to work on the comprehension check. So I think we're gonna do this, and then we'll probably maybe do some discussion, and that will be the end of our second class. Okay, so I'm just gonna get rid of the green thumb thing. Bye-bye, green thumb. Okay, so basically all you have to do is write true or false, okay? That's all you have to do for this one. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so we have 6 questions. I'm not gonna write out all the questions because that's gonna take forever and then it's gonna get boring. Okay, so number 1, people with poor nutrition live longer. True or false? Okay, so the information is going to be in paragraph 3. So let's see. Paragraph 3. There's a strong relationship between poor nutrition and reduced life expectancy. So people with poor nutrition live longer. Is this true or is this false? Please type in your answers below. And the answer is in paragraph 3. All right, number 2. There are lots of fast food outlets, like McDonald's, in low-income neighborhoods. True or false? So this is going to be in paragraph number 3 as well. Para 3. Okay, let's see what they say. Oh, really? Paragraph 3? Oops. My mistake. Paragraph 5. Sorry. Paragraph 5. Okay. The Bronx, she says, isn't exactly a food desert. The USA's largest food chain distribution center is a few minutes walk away from her kitchen garden. But the local shops also show signs of a low-income neighborhood. There's the cake shop, the McDonald's, the Burger King. So, there are lots of fast food outlets in low-income neighborhoods. True or false? Type in your answers now. Okay, number 3. Tanya Field's community garden is the only one in all of New York. Do you think this is true or false? So you can find the information in paragraph 7. Okay. All right, Tanya Field's group is just one of many. Okay, so Tanya Field's community garden is the only one. Is this true or false? Her group is just one of many. Okay, so type in your answers, please. All right, I see someone has typed in. They have typed in false for number 3, and that is correct. Very good. Poor nutrition does not lead to a longer life. Poor nutrition leads to a shorter life. Very good. So eat your vegetables. All right, and there are many fast food places in poor or low-income neighborhoods. Somebody wrote true. Yes, they talked about Burger King, McDonald's, and even some cake shops. Nice, okay. All right, so please try to do number 3 if you can. We're gonna move on to number 4 in the meantime. Excuse me. Food producers believe that poor people won't buy fresh food even if it were available. True or false? This is going to be in paragraph number 9. So let's take a look. According to community organizer Beatrice Beckford of National Black Food and Justice Alliance, the disparity in access to food is often because food producers assume lower income people won't buy fresh food, even if it were available in their communities. So, food producers believe that poor people won't buy fresh food, even if it were available. True or false? Please answer now. Number 5, community gardens are often a sign that an area is becoming poorer. True or false? This is going to be in paragraph 10. Okay, so let's see what they say. At the same time, community gardens are often the start of gentrification. So gentrification, that is where the rich people move in, things get fancier. So, community gardens are a sign that an area is becoming poorer. True or false? Please type in your answers. And I see somebody has answered number 3. What did you type? And they typed in false. That's right. So Tanya Field's group is not the only one. Her group is one out of a lot of groups in New York. Okay. And I see for number 4, somebody typed in true. That is correct. Producers often think people of low income will not buy fresh fruit. They assume, which is not a very good thing to do. Last question. Tanya Field's first task is to replant the garden. So replant, that means start planting things again. Remember, her garden got ransacked and destroyed, so now she wants to fix it. She wants to plant things. True or false? This is going to be in paragraph 12. Let's take a looky-loo. For Tanya Field's Libertad Urban Farm, the current focus is to replant and secure the garden. Okay, so her first task is to replant the garden. True or false? Type in your answers. Okay, number 5, someone has written false, and that is correct. Community gardens are often a sign that an area is getting richer. Gentrification. Okay, and any thoughts for the last one? Let me just grab my bottle of water. Excuse me. Okay. For the last one, the answer is indeed true. Very good. Her first task is to replant the garden. That is correct. Oh, okay, how are we doing, guys? Feeling good? Are we feeling a little overwhelmed or anything? I know this is a bit of a heavier reading article, but thank you for bearing with me. You're learning lots of new words, I hope. Lots of social justice and food justice terminology. Okay, I'm going to erase this because I believe we're all done with this. Have you guys ever gone to a community garden before? There's actually quite a few of them in Vancouver. They're kind of nice. You can grow your own tomatoes and vegetables, or you can just look at beautiful flowers. And anyone's welcome to go and walk around. Okay. I think what we'll do is, actually, let's do this part. Let's do turning adjectives into nouns and verbs into nouns. The noun transformation. Da, 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 da. Okay. Word building. Word building. Let's build some words into a word robot. Da, na, na, na. I don't know where I'm going with this song, but we're gonna take some adjectives and we're gonna turn them into nouns. Da, da. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this we adjective here and we are gonna change it into a we noun. Now, I'll give you a hint. This word popped up a lot in the reading. You probably heard me saying a lot. Food equality, community equality. I'm saying it now, I should stop that. Okay, what is the noun form of equal? Adjective to noun, I'm gonna let you try and think about it. You could look it up on your phone, I suppose, if you really can't think of the answer, but try to think of it first, okay? And what's the next one? Unequal. Okay, so it's the opposite of this. And what is the noun form? This one might be a little bit tricky. It's a bit of a trick question. And poor. This one probably popped up once in the reading. So this might be a little bit of a tricky one. Let's see if you can guess it, okay? Okay. All right, next we have verbs to nouns. So we're gonna switch it up here. Woohoo! All right. And here we have Angela saying equality. Yes, thank you so much. Nice stuff, Angela. Equality, equality. Important stuff in society. Good, all right. What about unequal? Do you think you could give me the, sorry, all this drool coming out gross. Can you give me the noun version of this, please? And let's see, we have, exploit, exploit, and assist. And we have survive. All right, these are our 3 verbs. All right, how about this one? Angela, any thoughts? Unequal, the noun form. If you don't know, that's totally fine. But maybe, do you know poor's noun form? Maybe you could give me that answer instead if you can't do this one. Let me know. Well, what do you think? Let me just get some more water. Super thirsty, oh my goodness. It's not even that hot outside today. It's rainy in Vancouver, actually. Rainy, kind of cloudy. Not as hot as it was on Monday and the weekend, so it's nice that it's cooled down a little bit. Always nice to have a bit of a fresh breeze in the city. Okay, so no problem. What I was hoping you guys would write was, now I know you might want to put inequality, but it's actually inequality. Now, please don't ask me why the un turns into an in. I don't know. Whoever made the rules of English grammar, I don't know why they decided to do this. But when you're turning an adjective into a noun, we're going to put inequality. All right, I'm going to write that down. Inequality. Inequality. Whew. All right. And how about poor? So again, this is a little bit of a tricky one, so I don't blame you guys for not putting in any answers. So the noun is poverty. Poverty. A not very nice thing in this world, unfortunately. So that is the noun form of poor. Do you guys have a lot of poverty where you live? In Vancouver, definitely there is some poverty. There's a big disparity, you know, between those who are living in poverty and those who are very well off. Yeah. And there's people in the middle too, obviously. All right. The verb exploit. I'm I think this was in like the first part of the reading today when we were like doing all those fill in the blanks. So what is the noun form of exploit? And what is the noun form of assist? And how about survive? Angela, do you happen to have an answer for exploit? Could you give me the noun form? Or if you maybe assistance, or perhaps survive? What do you guys think? All right, I'm gonna give you a hint. All right, so basically for exploit, it starts off the same. Exploit. And then there's an A, exploitation. I'll let you finish it off, okay? And assist. Okay, so once again, it's gonna look pretty similar. Assista. Do you get an A? Assista. Any thoughts? Any guesses? And finally, survive also starts off the same. Survive. Okay, I've given you some pretty big hints, so I'd like you to try and fill in the rest. Thank you, Angela. Exploitation. That is correct. Very good. All right. Do you have the answers for the last two? Assista and surviva. So close. This one, you only need one more letter. I've practically given you guys the answer. Okay. Is that another one we wrote in here? No, I didn't write exploitation there. Okay. Let's put exploitation under the new words. Exploitation, exploitation. All right. So for assist, I was looking for, the word was assistance. C-E, assistance. Oops, not assistance. I forgot the N, sorry. Assistance. Okay, pardon me. All right. So assist, do you guys know what this means? So assist is a synonym for help. So for example, my mother, she has a bad back. Sometimes she needs assistance for like lifting things or picking things up. So that is assistance. I'm running out of like space for new words, so I'm just gonna leave that there. All right, and thank you for answering. Good stuff. Last one. What do you think this is? Survive. It's not survivor. It is survive. And oh, somebody wrote it. Yes. Survival. Thank you. Very good. Survival. Next. Nice. Thank you for answering. All right. Survival. So survive basically means to live, but usually it's in harsh conditions. So for example, 10,000 years ago, it was difficult for humans to survive. So in order for survival, humans would have to make clothes and build fires and hunt animals. So survival for humans was very difficult a long time ago. Nice. Good job, guys. You did very well with this. Thank you for your participation. Okay. I'll let you fill in the rest, but I'm going to erase it in 1 second. So I'm going to take it out in 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye. Is survival pretty easy for humans now, you think? What do you think? There's no right or wrong answer. Survival for humans right now. I think it's easier in that we can just go to the store and buy food. That's kind of nice. Or really nice. I like that I don't have to hunt for my food. I appreciate that. I feel like I'd be a very bad hunter. Maybe not a very good fisher either. Okay, how are we doing for time? Okay, so I think let's just do these last two discussion questions here, and then we're going to be done with the Guardian. Okay, so let's do this it'll be pretty quick, I think. All right, so discussion, banana. Time to discuss away Fast food is bad for you. What do you think? So for example, when we say fast food, typically I'm talking about things like McDonald's. What else is there? Maybe Subway? What's some other examples? A&W is a good one. KFC, of course. Maybe like even TV dinners. I kind of think of that as fast food. Okay. Fast food is bad for you. What do you think? Do you agree or do you disagree? And why? Please let me know in the comments. Tell me if you agree and disagree and why. I'll give you my opinion. I think, yeah, fast food, I think it's kind of bad for you. I think it's okay to have it every now and then, like maybe a couple times a month. But to have it multiple times a week, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or every day, not a good idea. I don't think fast food is good for you. So there can be a lot of salt. There can also be a lot of sugar in fast food sometimes. There can be a lot of grease, especially like at McDonald's and KFC. There can be too much grease and you don't get much nutrition. There's very little vegetables in the McDonald's hamburger or in KFC dinners. I think fast food, it doesn't have enough nutrition. So for me, I kind of agree with this. I think fast food is bad for you for the most part. There could be some good fast food places. I think some fast food does like there's salad shops and maybe that's better. But like most of these, no, not really. Yeah. Anyway, please let me know what you think and I'd like to read out your answer, okay? Okay, number 2, community gardens. So community gardens, this is where people from all over your community in a city or town can grow food together. They can grow fruit and vegetables. Community gardens are a great idea. Okay. So, do you agree or disagree with this? Again, there's no right or wrong answer. It's simply your opinion. So for me, I personally think community gardens are a great idea. Please type in your answers, by the way, and let me know what you think about number 2 and number 1. Now, I think we could do with more community gardens, actually. We probably need more of this than these. That's what I think. This is really good because if you create a community garden, you can cut out the need for trucks and boats from across the world bringing in fruits and vegetables. Because remember how I told you, you want some mangoes, then you're gonna go on a ship, and then they're gonna go into a truck, and then they might go to like another truck, who knows, it depends. Or sometimes it like goes into like airplanes. And like these all use a lot of gas and energy, and that's really not good for the atmosphere. So I think community gardens can be really great for reducing the amount of greenhouse gases we create. There's many other reasons why community gardens can be a great idea too. For example, people like low-income families that don't have much money, maybe they can grow their fruit and vegetables here, and then they don't have to pay astronomical amounts of money to get fresh food and vegetables. So, of course, there are problems with community gardens. They're not perfect. Like, honestly, like in the story, you remember how the woman, Tanya Field, she was saying, yeah, our community garden got robbed by someone. He took all the food. So obviously it's not perfect, but I think it's a very good idea. I hope to see more of these in the future. And I want to join one of these. I'd like to grow my own vegetables if I can. Okay. All right. Well, again, we have 10 more minutes, so feel free to give me any sort of, thoughts or feedback on this. Let me know your opinion. Okay. Now, I want to bring up a little bit of something before I forget, because I almost did forget. You have your dictation coming up. So I think you all know how it works. So your dictation is going to be due on Friday. I just marked your dictation and your quizzes today. Very good job, by the way. Nice stuff. So yeah, I marked your dictation, hardly any mistakes, which is nice. I marked your oral quiz. Thank you for sending a sound clip and recording your answers. I thought it was extremely well done. So if you want to review your marks, feel free to go online and take a look at the feedback I've given. So this dictation, like I said, it'll be, if you can, do try to hand it in by Friday. Okay, so I just want to bring that up before I forgot. Okie dokie. So, all right, we're gonna say goodbye to the guardian. Bye-bye, guardian. And we're gonna say hello to, for the last 9 minutes, eating discussion. Woo! Okay, so we're not gonna obviously have time to do all of these questions. I'm just gonna choose like 3 to 5 questions depending on time and whatnot. Okay, so I'm gonna erase all this because I think we're done. I don't see anyone responding to the guardian discussion. No thoughts on fast food or community gardens? None at all? Oh, that's a shame. Okay. Okay, all that's gone. Bye-bye, black mess. Okay. Okay, let's do number 1. Discussion on eating. Da, 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 da. Yum, 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 yum. Okay, let's say this guy's eating a carrot. Okay, number 1. How much do you enjoy eating? How much do you enjoy eating? Okay. I'd like you to type in, let me know how much you enjoy eating, okay? For me, yeah, I really enjoy eating. I enjoy eating a lot. So sometimes I might eat a little too much if something tastes really good. For example, last night my husband brought home some pasta from a delicious pasta place. And I was like, oh my God, nom, 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 nom. So I ate a lot of pasta last night. Body probably doesn't love me for it, but c'est la vie, it happens. But yeah, I think I enjoy eating quite a lot. I do try to eat, 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I'll have a little snack every now and then. Yeah, how about you? How much do you enjoy eating? Let me know in the comments. Let's do number 2. What time of day? What time of day do you enjoy eating? Okay, so for me, I think I enjoy eating the most at dinner time in the evening. Because usually in the evening, it's kind of when I can relax. I'm kind of done with my day. So I'm happy to just kind of take it easy and eat without a care. So I tend to enjoy eating at dinner time quite often. So yeah, I think I enjoy eating most in the evening, especially when I'm with some friends. What about you? What time of day do you enjoy eating the most? Let me know in the comments. Okay, and number 3. Do you have a midnight snack? Okay. You guys know what midnight is, right? Midnight snack. Okay. So midnight is basically 12 in the morning. But when we say midnight snack, it could be like anywhere between 11 p.m. to like 3 a.m. in my opinion. Like any time between this period could be referred to as a midnight snack. Basically when you're supposed to be sleeping, you're eating. For me, this is rare. I try not to eat after 8 p.m. Usually after 8 p.m. I try not to have any more food because then I might have trouble sleeping. Sometimes I have a snack at around 8 or 9, sometimes, but I try not to. What about you? Do you have a midnight snack? Let me know in the comments. Another time when I have a midnight snack is if I can't sleep. So 1 week ago, for example, it was like 11 or 12. I could not sleep for the life of me and my stomach was growling. I was so hungry because I had lunch at like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. I had, dinner, sorry. I had dinner like 6-7 hours earlier. So my stomach, I was awake, my stomach was like, feed me now. And it's like, it's 12 a.m., I'm not supposed to eat. But I gave in, I ate some cheese and frozen grapes. That was my midnight snack. Cheese and frozen grapes are some of my favorite things to snack on. Okay, I think we have time for at least one more question. Let's skip number 4. Number 5. Let's do number 5. Who do you enjoy eating with? Eating with the most. The most. The most, the most, the most. Okay. Whew. Sorry. Getting a little bit hot again. Don't know why. Who do you enjoy eating with the most? For me, this might be obvious, but I enjoy eating with my husband the most. I love it when I can like cook him a nice meal and he gets to sit and enjoy it and we can enjoy it together. And if he's like, that's delicious, makes me really happy. So I'd say I enjoy eating with my husband the most. I enjoy eating with my friends too sometimes, but I always prefer my husband, typically. What about you? Who do you enjoy eating with the most? Let me know in the comments. Maybe it's your family members, maybe it's a friend, or maybe it's like with your coworkers, or maybe it's with your dog or cat. Okay, let's get rid of some of these. Okay, squeaky, squeaky. Let's do number 6. Do you like watching TV? Do you like watching TV while you eat? Do you like watching TV while you eat? For me, yes. I do this too often, I think, actually. Especially lately when I wake up in the morning, because I don't have to go to work right away anymore. I often eat my breakfast in front of the TV while playing video games or watching YouTube. And sometimes for lunch, I might do this too. For dinner, my husband and I, half the time we eat at the table, half the time we eat in front of the TV. I think I would like to do it less in front of the TV because I want to kind of enjoy and like concentrate on the flavors. If I'm watching TV, I'm not really concentrating on the flavor of the food. But I do this a lot. I do this pretty much every day. I'm not gonna lie. What about you? Let me know in the comments. My husband is a big fan of this. I think that's why I eat in front of the TV a lot. Before dating him, I don't think I did this as much. I think I ate at the table a lot more, especially when I was growing up with my family as a child. We almost never did this. This was very rare. We would always sit at the table together, especially at dinner time, and we'd eat our dinner together. Dinner time was important family time for us. Okay, I think maybe we'll do one more, perhaps. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see, it is about time to end this class though. I'll write one more question down, just in case though. Okay, oh, this one. Are you a slow or a fast eater? Okay. Excuse me, sorry. Are you a slow or a fast eater? For me, it depends if I'm with people or if I'm by myself. When I'm by myself, I'm a fast eater. I'm not talking, I'm not really listening to anyone or anything, so I'm just like nom 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 nom. I should probably slow down actually. But yeah, especially when I was a kid or a teenager, I was always a fast eater. Like I would just scarf my food down. Like I was like hungry all the time. I'm trying to be a slower eater when I'm talking with my friends or family. Like if I'm doing some talking, then I'm a slower eater. Only if I'm talking though. If I'm just listening, then I might still be a bit of a fast eater. In general, I am a fast eater. What about you? I heard it's good to be a slow eater. Actually, there's something called mindful eating. I'm gonna write this down here actually. Mindful eating. It's become quite popular term recently. So this basically refers to, paying attention to what you're eating. Not just sitting in front of a TV and shoveling food in your mouth or staring at a computer and like eating food or just like scarfing your food down, but actually chewing slowly and thinking about, oh, this tastes really nice. It's a little spicy. It's got like a little bit of a sour kick to it. Maybe slightly bitter. Oh, is that salt I taste in there? So that is what mindful eating is. Slowing down, really appreciating and thinking about the food and the flavors you can taste. This is something I really need to work on. I don't know, I'm really lazy when it comes to this. I just like to get that food in my belly apparently, but this is something I really want to work on. So yeah, give this a try if you ever can. It's good stuff apparently. It helps you apparently also lower the amount of food you eat. If you eat too fast, sometimes you end up eating way too much because your stomach doesn't know it's full until it's too late. So it pays to be a slow eater apparently. Yeah, I should definitely work on that. Absolutely. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, this is a good one. Are you a fussy or picky eater? Are you a fussy or picky eater? So do you guys know what this means? So to be fussy or picky means there are many foods that you don't want to eat, and you're only going to eat certain foods. So for example, I once knew a very picky eater. All he ever wanted to eat was fried chicken, steak, or macaroni and cheese, mac and cheese. This was like pretty much all he ate. No vegetables, no fruit, no salads, no bread or potatoes or like anything. I think candy was okay, but this was all he liked. Fried chicken, steak, mac and cheese. He was a very fussy eater, a very picky eater. He wouldn't eat anything else. So yeah, not really a good thing. Me, I don't think I'm super fussy or picky. There are some foods that I won't eat, like liver. It's like in here, like cow liver. I really don't like liver, it stinks. I can't eat it, I'm sorry. So some stuff like that I don't want to eat, but most fruits, most vegetables, most dairy products I'm totally fine with. Meat, usually okay. Fish, okay. Shellfish, no, I don't really like clams or crab or any of that stuff. I'm not a huge seafood person. Okay, let's see. Let me just grab a drink of water. All right, our board's getting a little full. I think I'm gonna erase it. Sorry, I know we're going quite a bit over time here. We'll finish up in just a second. All right, let's get rid of all that black stuff. What are you guys having for dinner tonight? I think I'm having a very simple bean patty dinner. Okay, here we go. And grab another sip of water. Much better. Okay. All right, I guess I will just keep going. So, what's another good one? Do I ever get bored of eating? Oh, number 3. Let's go to the one down here. So number 3 on the bottom. What do you think of people who eat food on trains or buses? What do you think of people who eat food on trains or buses? So, does this bother you, or are you okay with it? For me personally, it doesn't bother me that much as long as they're not being too loud and too messy. So if people are going like, nom, 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 then I don't like it. But if people are quietly eating on a bus or a train, especially if it's a long journey, it does not bother me that much. No problem. Okay, so my apologies, we went over time a bit, guys. We're gonna take a 10-minute break and then we're gonna have our song singing time, so that should be fun. So I'm gonna see you guys in 10 minutes. Have a nice break.